Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And once again, you've found us on the beautiful Gulf Coast Mediacom Channel 27. You can find us here every Saturday afternoon from 4:30 to 5. And we're glad that you've decided to watch us. You can also go to YouTube. If you'll type in Santa Rosa Week, you'll be able to see all the previous shows that we have aired. Deborah, I am continued to be amazed. I can't go anywhere anymore now.
What's happened this time?
Well, you know, people will walk up to me and say, "Oh, what a great show that you did on the Pullum property," and I'm finding there's even been some pre-20-year-olds that have
Really?
watched the show, and you know, I think it's starting to spread. You know, of course we know that Team Santa Rosa watches our show because they've reacted to a couple things that we've done, and
That's flattering.
feel like we probably have more than a few attorneys that watch our show. You know, hoping to catch me at something. But I just you know, I think it's really building. And
Well, what strikes me is that kind of interest and enthusiasm, to me, sort of indicates there's a problem on the normal media side of the house.
right.
That maybe some information's not getting out that should be on that side of the house.
Well, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You know, a lot of our media sources, especially the Pensacola News Journal, you know, they write stories about weeds in the middle of the road, and what you can do and what time you can do it at, you know, and all of that stuff is interesting. You know, I'm not going to get you wrong. I'll look at the Pensacola News Journal to check the date for the Arts Festival or something along those lines, but it's just not first and foremost, you know. And I think there is a need. Certainly, we have already in our short existence here at the lovely Mediacom, we have. We have, you know, we've covered 25 topics that'll never be in the written media.
It wasn't even that hard.
Yeah,
it's not like we had to go digging for stuff that nobody else had.
You know, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to give our secret away to you, but
I just show up at meetings. That's my secret.
Pretty much all you have to do is if you're breathing and your heart is pumping, all of these stories are easy to find. It's like shooting fish out of a barrel, you know. Well, you know, and look, a lot of times, some of this stuff takes a lot of time. I mean,
Yes.
I was talking to a lady this morning. She actually told me that she had to take a position on the side of the road, count the trucks going in and out of a place, to prove the point that the county was potentially doing something that might not have been a fair accounting practice. She had followed it all the way through to how is it in this situation that you're not tracking, or why are you charging off these trucks to this project because it's not supposed to happen that way.
And should we talk about that, or do we want to?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was...
the concern is there may be county equipment that's being charged off to MSBU.
To MSBUs.
Which is, residents pay that.
Right, and let's take a moment to educate. Ladies and gentlemen, on MSBU, you can decide to have outdoor lighting in your neighborhood. You can have your road paved. We even saw one neighborhood that asked for an MSBU to replace a bridge. So, but the point is that typically in the road building stuff is that the residents are required to pay for the cost of the materials. That is the dirt, the gravel, and the asphalt that it takes. And the county picks up the labor side, since we have the trucks and the front end loaders and all of that kind of stuff.
Which is a good system in my opinion.
I think it's a very good system. You know, the best system would be that their tax dollars actually be spent for building roads rather than being loaned to Mr. Bill Pullum and Team Santa Rosa, as we discussed in the last show.
It was loaned to Santa Rosa the 3 Santa Rosa commissioners who wanted to buy the Pullum property.
Right.
Dipped into that road paving fund.
Yeah, they
said they're going to pay it back.
Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, see, our problem is, what if they decide to pay it back in kind? Which means, I guess, somebody's labor
I will.
output will be assigned to it?
I will just refer our audience to the point that we actually saw at a county commission meeting when the budget director was questioned about they had not allocated enough money for the actual cost of something, and his response was, "We'll just adjust those numbers." Okay, I'm not kidding with you, ladies and gentlemen. This was a situation back to when John Broxton was a commissioner. He wanted to buy a piece of property in the south end near a boat ramp. It was going to be big enough for nine automobiles with trailers, and the sales price was about $229,000. And that's what they approved for the sales price. And I went forward and said, well, wait a second, time out. It's not just the sales price. You have closing costs, dock stamps, transfer fees. There's a whole, just rough estimate. I figured at least another $2,000 to $3,000 to complete that transaction.
Plus in most, I have to say that I've observed county land transactions, there's that percentage above and beyond what the property's actually worth that we end up paying.
Well, I mean, and just for this exercise, my point being, the county commissioners authorized $229,000.
Right.
The actual cost was going to be $233,000 or $34,000. And the way I see it is, if you don't authorize enough to cover the cost, then you shouldn't make that expenditure until you authorize it. And the response was, well, don't worry about it, we'll adjust those numbers. So.
Unless you have extra money sitting in the franchise fee road fund.
Yeah, we can always...
That you can borrow and pay back later.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, and Deborah, just a thought just popped into my mind. The road and bridge fund is shovel ready. They can shovel some of that money out of there anytime they want to.
It is shovel ready.
It is shovel ready.
It's not the only thing at that commission that's shovel ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah and I talked about this, and we had 3 commissioners that decided to buy that Pullum property, and all 3 of them used a term. And as long as I'm capable of having this news program on this television, I'm going to say it at every show. Shovel ready.
It's our new motto.
It's our new motto. Ladies and gentlemen, it's shovel ready. Well, what I have to say to you today is apparently that the money that is supposed to be going to help your roads, to build your roads, to work on your drainage and all that, it is shovel ready so that the 3 commissioners can go over and shovel all they want out anytime. Just drop an IOU in there. Just like the federal government with the Social Security. Just drop an old IOU in there. You know what? Boy, I'm getting fired up again. You 3 commissioners didn't ask my permission to rob money out of my road fund. As I recall, I've been the guy that's been standing up there for years saying that your number 1 priority, what you're supposed to be doing, is roads and drainage. But what you do now is you just spend all of our money buying property. But what you're supposed to be doing is roads and drainage. But but that fund over there at Shovel Ready, we'll just adjust those numbers.
Bring a big shovel.
Bring a big shovel. Well, look, we try to stay local, but look, spring has sprung.